What is good, everyone? This is the Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network. We're here. We're excited. Just Cody and I again. Dallas is once again excused for the second week in a row. First week, his brother got drafted to the Angels, and now it's his birthday, so we're like, fine, I guess you can use your PTO.
Like he's out of it.
Imagine that. You know how bosses always get upset for you using PTO that they gave you?
Yeah.
I can't believe you're taking today off. Well, you gave me the day off. Right?
Oh, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Dallas.
Yes, happy 25th birthday. Give him a shout out on our Instagram. Anyways, we are going over the newest Disney Plus series, Loki.
Yay.
One may argue
I'm clapping.
The best of the Disney Plus series so far?
Disney Plus Marvel, yes.
Marvel series. Yeah. Well, what would be the best Disney Plus series so far?
Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think
I had a hard time choosing. I had to go back and look up my score for The Mandalorian. Because I'm like, but I think I like Mandalorian. Just
what were the scores for The Mandalorian?
I just remember mine.
What was yours?
7.8. And I feel like that's low now that I'm like...
That is low. I feel like that is really low. I mean, even for you, no offense.
That's pretty high for me, actually.
But something like The Mandalorian, I would... I'm
rarely into the 8s and 9s.
Rarely, yes. Yes, you are.
Impossible to get to.
I think
to 10.
I hand out 10s like nothing. I hand out 10s like a NBA dunk contest judge. Apparently, I'm looking at you, Dwayne Wade. No, he gets crap for handing out.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh, man, never forgive him for that.
No.
But hey, cool. He's the Jazz's owner now. So
yeah, we'll see what he does.
Making big moves. Anyways, back to Loki. Here's the thing. I'm split because, and you'll see why soon enough, I'm split between WandaVision and Loki, honestly.
Okay. What did you give WandaVision?
8.9. Remember, I felt it was great, but it felt like a 9, but I couldn't give it a 9, so I gave it an 8.9.
Okay. All right.
It's always my cheap. If you ever see a 0.9, that's usually my cheap way of getting out of things, of getting out of Dodge.
Okay.
Because it's like,
you gave Black Widow last week at 9.
And I'm going to stick with that. Okay. Watch Black Widow again. I'm going to stick with that score. Absolutely.
All right.
But let's get to the scores, right? Do
you want to get to it?
I would, yeah. So we'll say Dallas is, because Dallas always goes first, even when he's not here. Dallas, he texted it in. He gives it an 8.5.
Okay.
And in his words, he says, so worth it.
So worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I had my wife just text me your scores for The Mandalorian. You give it a 10.
That sounds about right.
Dallas gave it a 7.5.
And you know what? I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with the 10.
Shout out to my wife for texting that over real fast.
And you know what? Our most consistent listener as well. Number one fan. All right.
Number one fan. So I think it's just a little bit less than Mandalorian for me. But
just a touch?
Just a touch. So I'm going to go 7.6.
Okay.
For Loki.
Okay.
Which is a really good score for me.
That is a really good score for you. Now, but here's the question, though. Mm-hmm. You feel like your 7.8 for The Mandalorian is low, though, now.
I know. It changed. I told you, mine's very fluid. I don't go with a score and I'm like, that's it for eternity.
No, I agree. No. I agree. That's why I think I actually rated Wonder Woman 1984 too high.
Yes, you
did. He gave it a 4, and I think that's way too high.
You need to go lower.
It's like a 2 now, honestly.
I think I need to go lower.
I think, yeah. You gave it a 3.
Yeah, I feel like I would go lower.
No, yeah, I would go lower for sure. I can't believe I went that high. I look back at that, I'm like, you're so dumb. Anyway, so what I'm going to give Loki, and I tell you why I'm so torn between Loki and WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hold on. During the Falcon and Winter Soldier podcast, I said if Loki is anything less than a 9, I'll be sorely disappointed. I did say that.
You did.
And I'm going to give it an 8.9, just like WandaVision.
No.
Yes.
I might be able to. Can I change your mind?
It is worth it, though. Yes, you can change. And please change my mind.
Okay. 8.3 for all of us.
8.3 over. And I think that's absolutely fair.
Yeah, worth it across the board.
Worth it across the board. Look, I want this to be a 9, but I just...
What's keeping it from being a 9?
I don't know.
If I had to guess, I thought you were going to give this a 10.
No.
If you're going to give Black Widow a 9, I was like, there's no way he's not going to give Loki a 10.
Here's the thing, and I'm trying to...
So I am very surprised that...
I think a lot of people will.
Mm-hmm.
I often try to get into the right mindset with movies in, like we were talking about before the show, Space Jam. I am on record going into Space Jam with an open mind and giving the benefit of the doubt, and I had a very high score.
I did too.
I tried not to let things, especially outside things, get into the way of enjoying the movie.
I do too. I try.
Yeah, and we give an honest effort, which is probably why at the time when I first saw Captain Marvel, I actually thought it was a really good movie, and then some things snuck in and really makes me loathe that movie even more.
Just Brie Larson.
My expectations for the series were just through the roof with the trailer, and I tried to hold them, but there's just...
It didn't meet your expectations.
And I don't know why. I have no answer.
That surprises me.
I don't think I really have any serious complaints about the series.
So why that? I know it's like 8.9, like it's lower, I think, but
I know people are devastated that I'm giving it an 8.9, but I don't know why.
Yeah,
can't figure it out. So this is why I need you.
That's interesting.
I need you to work it out for me.
Was it episode 3? Because that was the worst episode for me.
No, you said that was the worst episode. That's actually, I like that episode.
You did.
What do I say is the name of the game all the time?
Yeah, character development.
And no bigger character development than episode 3.
Yeah, maybe I just enjoyed Owen Wilson so much. And Tom Hiddleston's.
I've thought that. I think that's why it's an 8.9 rather than a 9, because I didn't get enough of the Owen Wilson, Tom Hiddleston.
You didn't get enough of it.
I think there should have been way more.
Too much Sylvia? Is that right? Am I saying that right? Sylvie, sorry.
Maybe. And that's not a knock on Sylvie. Really like Sylvie.
Oh, she did great, I thought.
Great character, right?
Yeah.
Very excited to see where she goes. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should have had more. Because he was like...
Morbius, right?
Mobius.
See, I'm doing good today.
Not the Matrix, yeah.
Mobius. It's close to me.
He was like hardly in the season finale, right? Except for like the very end, maybe.
Kinda, yeah. He was kind of in it. Like first 4 episodes, he was really in it. Mm-hmm. But then he was in the void a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
but those first 2 episodes,
yeah, it was all.
Oh my gosh,
it was almost like a buddy cop.
Exactly.
So I enjoyed that. And maybe that's why I enjoyed it, because I always like buddy cop movies. So
me too.
And I just missed Owen Wilson. I think he's a breath of fresh air.
Exactly he's very refreshing to the MCU right now.
Okay, so can we break it down by episode? Can you do that? Do you remember enough?
Yeah, no, I can remember.
So like episode 1, would that be a 10 out of 10 for you?
The first 2 episodes are 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Right, especially like the whole...
Well, if the first 2 are... And the third one would be, because you just
third one is slightly less, and just the reason for that, it goes a little slow. Like I can admit it goes slow. The whole train thing, and just like, come on, let's pick it up.
Yeah,
already such an exciting ending to season 2, and then just hard on the brakes. I still like episode 3 though, but I want to say. Well, actually, it probably is the worst episode, but they're all really up there. I mean, I'm saying, like, it's not like the worst episode where I'm saying, this is, like, by far the worst. I'm saying, these are all great, but if I had to rank them...
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how I kind of went about it.
But this first episode, right? Okay, so now we know what happens to Loki after Endgame. Right? And that's his nexus of it.
Funny?
Hilarious.
Because you're like, where did he go? And then you start thinking of all these possibilities where he's at.
He's just Mongolia.
He ends up in a desert, and then he gets trapped by the TVA.
Let's talk about the TVA.
So sad.
Love the TVA. I'm a sucker for the futuristic yet 1950s aesthetic type.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it when...
It was good.
When shows and movies
like
do that.
Retro tech and everything like that.
Oh, I am so all about that retro stuff.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
And I love the just being thrown right into it. Yeah. No time to breathe for Loki, right? Just going through everything, trying to figure it out. I
think that's good, because then you start feeling what he's kind of probably feeling.
And I think, that's exactly right. I think that's what they were playing at. They, the showmakers want us to be just as confused as Loki is.
Yeah. Sorry, I was...
No, you're good. You're good.
And I was, obviously, for the first 2 episodes. It's not confused. It's just more of trying to figure out what's going on, right? And I think...
It's a good confused. It's not confused. It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a good mystery. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that mystery was... I don't know. Episode 3. It didn't feel like very mysterious to me. But...
that's another theory on why I think it's the 8.9. right?
But
There's like a
you're
ton.
contradicting yourself.
Here's the thing: this is going to be as much as a roller coaster of an episode as Loki was as a show. But we're going to get more into it after the break here. So you got to stick with us to figure out the mystery of why Brandon scores. Yes, a lot of questions. I love the show. Anyways, hey, stick with us. This is the Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network, going over Disney Plus's newest, or the MCU's newest show on Disney Plus, Loki. Now we're solving several mysteries. One, the mystery of the show, and the mystery of why Brandon's score is not as high as everyone should expect it to be.
I think it should be higher. I know how you feel about me when I rate stuff. You're kind of like, you kind of feel like a little disappointment in your heart.
You gave it what, a 7.5?
7.8.
7.7.
I don't know. Let me check.
Oh no, well that's okay, because as we say, scores aren't solidified until the end of the show. But look,
7.6.
7.6. There we go. So we danced around all the numbers except for the actual score.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is it your score higher?
That's a great score for me. So why is it not higher? Episode 3. For sure.
Okay, yeah.
That was a letdown for me. Because episode 1 and 2 were they were good for me. They were like 8s for me, which is really good because it's really hard for me to give anything to 10. So, but episode 3 really brought it down for me. I was like at 5.
Why is that? Because it's slow, or
just slow? Yeah, I didn't, because like I said, I really enjoyed the Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston banter back and forth. So
get that man on a jet ski.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt like it was pretty much it was just a letdown for me. And I was just like, and it was slow and it dragged. And I understand it was the part of the development of the story, but I feel like you can meal that with other stuff too. I don't feel like it just has to be a full episode of just that. So, but episode 4 really cranked it back up again.
Ending of episode 4 is top tier. Really fantastic.
So I guess that's where it kind of comes down to. I think every episode for me is pretty much an 8 out of 10 besides episode 3.
Which is a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. So if you really
hold on, whip out your calculator. Let's figure out your actual score. Right. There's 6 episodes.
Okay.
All
right. Oh boy.
So you gave 5 of them an 8. So 5 times 8.
Jamie, can you get the high?
Yeah. Okay. Plus 5 divided by 6.
7.5.
No way. No. And you gave it a 7.6, so you're being generous somewhere.
I am being generous, yes. See?
Dang it, I thought for sure.
Should we go through yours? Because I think you're not being fair. I think that might raise your score.
It might. But it might raise the score in what I say, but it won't shake the feeling.
What's the feeling? I don't understand.
It just doesn't feel like a 9.
Okay. All right.
And that's high. Look, I know
it's hard for me to argue it because I'm at 7.6. But for you, I feel like it should be higher.
No, and look, I'm the guy who hands out the higher scores all the time. It doesn't take a lot for me to be entertained by anything, right? So, yeah, why this isn't at 9. So at least with like WandaVision, I had a reason. Like WandaVision was at 10 up until the last episode and the whole Ralph thing. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on that.
See, I really enjoyed WandaVision, but I think I enjoyed Loki more than WandaVision. But I think because of the possibilities, I don't know how fast you want to get into the end.
I don't think I want to get there yet.
Okay. So that's what I'm trying to avoid.
But look, like Loki was set up as this mysterious what's going on.
Yeah. Did you like Loki? Maybe that's it. Do you like Loki's character arc?
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. Because I've heard some people don't like that.
Which is stupid. They're just ignorant. Everyone's all like, Loki would never just ditch his glorious purpose for a girl. I'm like, okay, clearly you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, because he's not. It's for him.
Because, let me...
It is the version of him as a female version of Loki.
So let's battle that argument, right? Because I think from my side, I read like social media comments all the time. Mm-hmm. People were saying, oh, this is 2012 Loki. This is not post-Ragnarok Loki. Right? Mm-hmm. I disagree.
Okay.
I think it is neither right? Obviously starts as 2012 Loki, sees the events of Ragnarok, but paves his own way, right? Now imagine being 2012 Loki and Mobius is just there saying, you don't win. Yeah, like this is how it goes. Your mom dies, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You die, your planet gets blown up, like all this stuff. And he has that really great, which is why episode 1's so fantastic, that great emotional, powerful scene.
Yeah.
I think that changes him enough.
Yes, that's so good. Hiddleston
rocks.
Out of the park.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
So look, and then we see throughout the rest of it, right? He finds a connection, that Nexus event in episode 3, right? With Sylvie, someone who finally truly understands him, right? She is him. Yeah. Right.
That was kind of confusing to me. How did they become a Nexus event in Apocalypse?
I think that's going to be explored in season 2.
Okay.
Because Mobius kept saying whatever the connection was between you two is what caused it.
Hence the reason why He Who Remains probably wants them in charge, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And
now,
not to get too far ahead of ourselves.
No, but that's good. Now, is it going to be some sort of Fifth Element type? The Fifth Element is love, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's what, you know, the secret the secret to the timeline is loving each other, blah, blah, you know. I doubt it's going to be that garbage, but.
Yeah. Well, going back to what we were just talking about, though, I think the story arc happens regardless.
Okay.
Even though, so in this timeline or the Ragnarok timeline, Loki becomes this different, more loving person. I think it was always there. I think it was deep inside of him, right? But I think he eventually, it just bubbles over. His love for his dad, for Thor, for his mother, and finally just comes out. No matter what timeline he is in, I think it eventually comes out.
This Loki, at least, not Loki. The variant.
Not the variants. Or the variants, yes. Yeah. Which was a great episode. So.
Yeah, that's one of the... But, I mean, there's only 6, so, I mean, you could only say, you know, one of the best.
But this Loki, the same Loki in this timeline and in the Thor Ragnarok timeline, I think they both had the same character arc where they start to feel, I guess, or not deny their love, I guess, is what they're mostly doing, is not denying that they actually care and love people besides just Loki.
I agree, because I think what makes Loki such an attractive villain, right, doing air quotes villain, is he's not a villain. He's pretending. He's lying to himself, right?
Yeah.
He seeks that power and glorious purpose. He said so in episode 1, you know, the reason why he hurts people and whatnot. He's been lying to himself.
Yeah.
So people who say that, you know, the 2012 Loki would never be would never take these actions and save Sylvie and stop his glorious purpose, I disagree with. I think this has always been Loki, and I think no matter what, like you said, what timeline, this Loki will always end up at.
Yeah.
No matter what path he takes, he's always going to end up at that point.
Yeah, I agree. So,
and I think they did a fantastic job of showing that in the series.
But these other variants of Loki's, I could see the other hand too, the other side of it too, because they're so consumed by their glorious purpose that they even betrayed each other in the void. So,
which we're wrapping up on the break a little bit. I mean, we still have enough time to get into some other stuff, but that is such a jam-packed episode. I feel like 4, 5, and 6 will be the next half, obviously, but I'm almost wondering if the second half of the show is even enough time to deconstruct everything in 4, 5, and 6.
We'll try to unpack it, but I have so many questions.
I have a lot of theories too on like what the TVA is. A lot of people think it's the quantum realm where Scott Lang, Ant-Man, was stuck in.
I heard that too.
Right, because you see the citizens, you see the cities and stuff in the quantum realm. Time moves differently. Can't use magic in there. I'm wondering if it's
part of it. I didn't read, I just heard that like through the grapevine, so I don't you'll have to explain more of what they're saying online about if it is in the quantum realm.
If it is, then all this ties into the next Ant-Man, which is called Quantumania. The best way to fit science into any movie is to add the word quantum into it. All right.
That's true.
So, look, I think a few things confirmed before we go on break. 1, Quantumania from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Multiverse of Madness from Doctor Strange, and then No Way Home. These are all multiverse movies. Hey, stick with us. You're listening to The Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network. good, everyone? This is the Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network, going over Loki on Disney Plus, the newest addition to the MCU. Now we have some of the heavier stuff to unpack. Correct?
Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with the timekeepers aren't real, which
Yes.
I feel was obvious, maybe.
Not for me, I guess.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming?
Dude, I don't try to figure movies out anymore.
I wasn't trying to figure it out. I just felt suspicious always because I think there was a lot of foreshadowing.
That's a good point. I was suspicious of where they came from.
Suspicious is a good word for you then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like even Loki was...
those are variants. I never thought that. So...
Well, they're not even variants. They're just robots, right? They're just...
Oh, you mean the timekeepers? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the TVA workers.
No, okay, yeah. That totally caught me off guard.
Yeah.
No idea, right?
Okay.
The timekeepers, the three.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Did that catch you off guard that they're just...
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of felt that they were, I don't know, not human. Not human.
Anything.
Yeah, not... I guess robots. Yeah, that didn't catch me off guard. I wasn't like, I was just kind of like, yeah, that makes sense.
Even when they show them, I'm like, I'm not buying that. That's...
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way they got through them that fast.
What I was thinking for the most part, and maybe this still is true, is the one chick, I think Renslayer, I think they were building the Mobius love. Yeah. What am I trying to say here? Love interest. There we go. I think they were trying to build that she was actually in charge, right?
Yeah, that was kind of muddled.
Yeah, that was. Especially in, I think, episode... No, five, yeah, when Sylvie is talking to her and she's like, oh, I want to figure out who they are just as much as you do. And then she betrays her, but,
Ravonna?
Miss Minutes...
Ravonna, is that how you say it?
Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's Renslayer or something. Yeah, Ravonna Renslayer. I'm pretty
Okay. Anyway, yeah, they're trying to pass her off as
the person in charge.
The one behind everything.
Either that or Miss Minutes.
Yeah.
That's kind of sentient hologram.
Well, she kind of was, right? Because she was at the...
I don't know.
The last part.
Is she recording? Is she alive? A bit of both?
Yeah. Well, she's got to be AI of some sort, I would imagine.
Well, I imagine she's just... If he who remains, which we're just going to call Kang, because that's obviously Kang the Conqueror, right?
Yeah.
He says he knows everything, right? Then why not just program her to... if he knows everything, he could just program her to have a conversation back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's who Miss Minutes is.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a good theory. I like it.
But look, I mean, hold
on. Before we go any farther, I needed to ask you this question. The Infinity Stones, they're just desk drawers full of Infinity Stones. They use them as paperweights in the TVA. This
is another thing that makes the series so fantastic, right?
What do you do with that information? I don't know how I feel about it. Does it lessen?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But, okay. I'm glad you brought this up because this leads into a point I want to talk about. You and I talked about Black Widow last week and we said, well, what does the MCU do from here?
Right. Well, they answered that.
We now know, right?
Yeah.
We thought, okay, Thanos, Infinity Stones, the biggest of the baddest, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think that's so anymore.
No.
Right? Loki says in the first episode, is this the greatest power in the universe?
It has to be.
I think it is. Look, if you control the timeline, you control everything that goes on, and you know everything that goes on. Thanos, Infinity Stone, that's nothing.
No.
You could control all that.
That's what I'm saying. Does it diminish what happened?
No, not at all, because I still think... Look, to say there's no free will in the MCU, I would disagree with that.
Okay.
And my point being is... How do I word this now? I have it in my head. I'm just not.
Go ahead.
Look, Kang can't control the whole timeline the way he does. I think there's got to be some give and take.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think he can steer it. And I think we'll find that out later in the future. It's not him just drawing a line and things magically falling into place like that.
Well, that's why you had the TVA.
Yeah.
Right? To control... From variants getting out and doing too much damage. Right?
Yeah.
So I think there's free will up to a certain
I think it's like this. I think, and you need to be watching on YouTube to see this visual. I think the timeline is like this wide, and you could act however you'd like within that.
Yeah.
But you start acting out of line, right? That spectrum. Yeah. Exactly.
And that becomes
I think that's when, so maybe there is a place on the sacred timeline where Thanos did win completely. Right?
Yeah, because obviously the Avengers traveling back in time was part of in that spectrum, right? That's one of the first things Loki says is, I'm not messing with time. The Avengers are.
Yeah, you could smell the smell of two Tony Starks.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. So that doesn't diminish what happens with the.
I don't think so. Does it do it for you?
Not diminish. I mean, maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe more of a.
Always in the back of your head.
It lessens the significance of the end game.
See, I don't think it does because it still happened.
Right. But because it was supposed to.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If Iron Man just said, no, I'm never going to invent time travel, right? Would the TVA have come in and pruned that?
I don't know. Would they?
See, I don't know either. But I would like to think no, right? I'd like to see there is that spectrum and you can act in free will within that.
So what was the variant then? Would that be a variant, right?
Yeah, there'd be a variant Tony Stark.
And Tony Stark said, I'm not going to invent timeline.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That's interesting.
I mean, just a theory, but
yeah.
We'll see. Look how many, because even the TVA shows, the longer you split off, the more dangerous it is.
Right.
And you have the point of no return, right?
Yeah.
So if there's boundaries in the Nexus event, then there's got to be boundaries in the sacred timeline, right? To kind of bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
Now, do they do a very good job of explaining all that, or did they just completely destroy the first three phases of the MCU? I doubt it. I don't think Marvel's that dumb.
I don't know. Maybe they did. I mean, I think it's a smart move. I mean, you look at all the different timelines that are going to the multiverse.
Yeah. Now anything is possible.
Anything.
Right? But let's not get too much into that yet. Okay. Let's talk about this episode 5, right?
Oh, yes.
Amazing.
The multiple
hilarious.
Lokis.
Yeah. Which Loki is your favorite?
It's got to be the old Loki.
Classic Loki?
Classic Loki.
Played by Richard E. Grant?
Yeah. I think
fantastic.
I think he did a great job. He showed what Loki can be.
Yes.
Which was very, very Wanda-like. It shows that the power that Loki could have if he wasn't so wrapped up in Loki.
Well, I think that was a big character point, right? You are not harnessing your full power, right? Yeah. Look, he's old, he's run down a little bit, but look at what the illusion he was able to create.
Yeah.
Right. And then he even said that, Lokis do this, they do that. They never reach their fullest potential, and that is in who they are through their sorcery and their magic and whatnot. No, I agree. He was an absolute standout. Look, that whole scene is hilarious. The presidential Loki.
That was good.
Yes, that is a comic book storyline in which Loki runs for American president in 2016 against Trump and Hillary Clinton. Hilarious, right? Very, very comic book accurate.
I might have voted for Loki.
I'm
just kidding.
I don't know. Right.
No, but yeah, I mean, that whole episode was fantastic. All full of Easter eggs too.
Oh, the Thanos copter.
Yeah, broken half. Thor's hammer was underground somewhere.
Not only that, there was Frog Thor, also known as Throg, voiced by Chris Hemsworth.
I didn't hear a voice, but that's awesome.
There is a little yelling in the jar and stuff like that. And yes, Chris Hemsworth came in and did a little bit of voice acting for that. But there's a few other things. Obviously, Avengers Tower. Is in there. There's a Ronan the Accuser ship. There's the Yellow Jacket helmet. There's a helicarrier.
I'm sure there's so much that we missed.
Oh, there's a ton.
Yeah. I'd like to go. I might go back in that episode.
There's lists you could find on Google and stuff. I found it on Instagram, but there was seriously so much that I can't even remember.
Yeah.
All of it.
So that episode was that's probably one of my favorite episodes.
Well, I think that was an important one for Sylvie and Mobius, because we haven't talked about Mobius in a while, but he's kind of coming to the sense that he realizes that the TVA is evil, and that while Sylvie has, come to this in an evil manner. She is right. You know, people in the TVA have had lives before this, and they've essentially been kidnapped, and they're taking away most of the free will of people, and they're lying and whatnot. So Sylvie, although through evil means, has shown Mobius the correct path.
He obviously realizes it in episode 5 when he's in the void, and after what's her name?
Oh, that's the end of episode 4, right? When he gets purged
or plunge. What do they call it? Plunge or something?
I think it's purge.
Right? Is it purge?
Why doesn't the TVA have something that can shoot? Why do they have to have sticks that you got to poke? Right? You'd think someone so advanced would have a gun or something.
But it's the retro.
It's the retro, right?
Yeah.
Hey, stick with us as we talk about the last episode from Loki here on the Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the fourth and final segment of the Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network, going over Loki, and I think we've saved it enough. We could finally talk about the last episode, and
I still don't think we have enough time.
Oh, look, everything's been split off, right? We've met Kang.
Yes.
Right? He's a 31st century scholar, realizes there's this great war, great divide. He gets the timeline back on track, blah, 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 blah. Right?
Yes.
Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang the Conqueror, could not get enough of him.
Liked it.
I loved his performance.
Okay.
Loved his performance.
Oh, he did really good. I was a bit, I don't know, unimpressed that was what was waiting for them.
I think here's the thing, because he said there's going to be multiple versions of him that come. Yeah. From what I understand in the source material is this version of him is like the most laid back.
Okay.
He's like the most chill, calm, right?
Yeah.
And that there's other versions of him that are just crazy psychopaths.
And it didn't bother me.
Not at all.
It was just kind of underwhelming, I guess.
I think
they go through all this and then they get to this, right? And then the little time lady shows up.
Miss Minutes. Oh,
Miss Minutes shows up, and I was like, "Is that her?" And it was like, "Is she the one behind all this?" And then
gave me a freaking heart attack. How she pops out, man.
Yeah, but then when he kind of like disappeared stuff, when they try to stab him and stuff, I thought that was pretty cool.
I think it's more difficult than people realize to play that all-knowing, always knows what's going on type character.
Yeah,
right. He just plays them so well. I'm supposed to hate him, but I don't.
Yeah.
I
didn't hate him.
No, you're like supposed to, right? Because he is the obvious villain, right?
I didn't get that. I didn't feel a villain from him at all.
No, I'm saying that's a good thing.
Oh, okay.
I am.
No, I know.
I'm saying, like, he is, of course, the villain, air quotes here, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't feel like that, right? He is, but it doesn't feel like it, which is a credit to the writing.
Yeah. So is Sylvie in the wrong or in the right?
For killing him?
Yeah.
Oh, I may say in the wrong, but
that's the big question, right?
Ask me in 10 years when the next 3 phases have passed and we see what's happened, right?
Obviously, she needed to do it to create the multiverse.
Yes,
right. And she brings back free will, supposedly.
Yeah, but is she going to start this insane war? Of course, which is what we're looking forward to.
Which Loki believed. He believed in King. Is that his name?
Yeah, Kang the Conqueror.
King the Conqueror.
I'm not going to call him He Who Remains because that's way too long. Just Kang.
Anyway, so he believes King.
Yes.
Yeah. Tries to stop Sylvie from killing him. Has the moment of clarity and kisses her and finally declares his love for her, which is not enough. Which is something we should talk about, right? Is that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Is that considered incest? If there is a female version of you.
I don't think so. No.
I go back and forth.
I don't know. Is it?
I mean, it doesn't seem...
But that's from different...
It doesn't seem normal.
They're from different universes.
Sure. Yeah, but... See, I don't know.
It's not the same.
It's the first time I've ever... had to think about this. Right.
Yeah, it's not a normal conversation.
No, it's not.
Yeah. In the multiverse...
Anything could happen, I guess.
Yeah. Was she from the same bloodline?
I'm assuming if you took their DNA, they'd probably have
the same
DNA. I guess technically no, because I don't know, man. Why do I even bring this up? This is far too complicated. Here's the most complicated thing in the show is this question of morals right here.
Yeah. I didn't feel like it was bad.
Look, I don't feel like it's bad, but that's because maybe I'm just a sucker for Marvel. I'm just going to go along with it. Because at least they build it up enough that it didn't come out of nowhere. Because it started in episode 3.
Maybe it didn't feel as bad to me because Loki loves himself that much. Mm-hmm. That the only person he could really truly love is himself.
I could see that.
Or herself. Still,
either way,
right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Itself.
Well, she doesn't apparently love him as much as he loves her.
I think she does. I think she's still blinded by her purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
So she hasn't gone through that arc.
No, I don't think she's gone through enough of an arc as Loki has. Cause,
I think she realized now.
Yeah. No, she will. And look, I think King is right. I don't think he was lying at all towards the end there. I think, and we already saw it, splitting and all sorts of craziness happening, right?
Oh, there's a lot of timelines now.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. There's a lot of timelines, which means anything is possible, correct? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which means in the MCU, throughout the entire timeline, has now been split, which means any way of thinking is correct, is canon. Would you agree?
Any way of thinking is canon.
If there's infinite timelines, infinite possibilities, which means if you and I come up with a new ending to Endgame, that's canon because there's infinite story.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So that's canon?
Yeah.
So the theory of Ant-Man shrinking, going up Thanos' butt, and expanding to kill Thanos is in fact canon now.
It's there somewhere.
There is a timeline where Thanos is defeated by like that.
And then there's a timeline where Don Cheadle goes back in time and just...
Yep.
And baby Thanos.
Yeah.
It might not do anything because it's not how timelines work.
And there's also one where War Machine goes back in time and gets sucked into the Warner Brothers serververse and battles LeBron James in a game of basketball.
Well, if anybody's going to tell you, it's going to be Warner Brothers.
Yes, it is.
They're going to advertise it.
They're going to jump up on that, yeah.
Don't watch Space Jam. Anyway, continue.
Go ahead and watch Space Jam. It's all right. But look, so you and I'll bring it up again. You and I talked last week that where does the MCU go from here?
Yes.
And the answer is wherever they freaking want.
How different my point of view changed in a week.
Yes.
Because last week I was just like, it's going to be the same old. But now I feel like it's going to be...
Here's the thing. I think
endless possibilities.
You're absolutely right.
Which makes me excited.
I think Marvel has developed a strong enough fan base that they could literally just do whatever they want. But here's the thing. They can do whatever they want because they've set it up properly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Any other franchise tries to pull this multiverse, whatever happens garbage.
Nope.
It's not garbage unless you're Marvel.
It's not going to happen. You can't do it.
It won't work. But Marvel now, all thanks to Loki has now completely changed the future course of the MCU. Mm-hmm. Anything can happen.
Yes.
Absolutely at all.
And I'm excited for it.
I'm all here for it.
Yeah. Well done, Marvel. Well done.
Very well done, and it's all thanks to this. Now, I mentioned earlier in the show we have a few movies coming out that are already referencing that. Obviously, Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, which Kevin Feige said that's going to be a horror movie.
Well, anything goes, right?
Yeah.
Isn't Wanda supposed to be in that?
Yes.
Scarlet Witch.
Yes, Scarlet Witch has been confirmed to be a very, very main character.
I hope she's the villain, and I hope it's scary.
I hope she's the villain, too.
I think that'd be great.
I know Doctor Strange has a villain called Nightmare. Mm-hmm. And I hope she, opens up some portal to Nightmare coming in or something. And
that'd be cool.
Yeah. And then, obviously, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. And that's all we know is it's going to be called Quantumania, which makes me think the TVA and all this is being run through the quantum realm.
Yeah.
And then coming this year, which is, I think, the next time we see anything about the multiverse is going to be in Spider-Man the end of this year. It is confirmed Tobey Maguire is back. And Alfred Molina straight up came out and said that at the end of Spider-Man 2, when Doc Ock gets thrown into the river, that after that, he opens up a portal into the MCU. He straight up said that.
That's awesome.
So he doesn't die at the end of Spider-Man 2. He just gets transported to the MCU. It's been confirmed. Kevin Feige came out and said he's all pissed with Alfred Molina for spoiling that, but...
Yeah. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a ride.
It's going to be a ride for sure. How are we feeling about our scores? You said 7.6?
Yeah, I think it's still pretty solid.
I'm still giving the 8.9.
No, come on. You can go 9.
That's an awesome score. I really have nothing.
But what did you say? If it's less than 9?
I would be complaining the whole time and be all pissed off.
But you haven't.
But I'm a liar.
Okay.
And I'm a liar.
Hey, as long as you admit it, that's good.
Well, hey, that's Loki, right? So what's our final score? What was the average
8.3,
one? 8.3. 8.3. Worth it all around. Go check out Loki. It's a quick 6 episodes. Definitely worth it. Amazing. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you to our Instagram followers. You guys have been doing awesome recently. We've been growing.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff happening. Thank you to the Fed by Ravens Media Network for hosting us. Doing so great with that.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. You can see what we look like, for better or for worse. I didn't do my hair today, so definitely for worse. Yeah. But we appreciate everything. And next week we got Old.
Yep.
Some M. Night Shyamalan action. Are you excited? Rate your excitement. Scale of 1 to 10. Quickly. 7. I'll give it a 7 too. Okay. Hey, thanks for listening. This has been Brandon and Cody with the Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network.